Hello, lovelies. Welcome back to the channel. My name is AJ. If it's your first time being here, thank you so much for joining us. Please do us a favor and subscribe to the channel. Give us a thumbs up and leave us a comment to which we'll be glad to reply. And then keep on building the family, the community, and then the connection. Okay, so I took a break last month. I know you guys were expecting that I'll put something last month, but I didn't for a reason, and that is the reason why I'm here today. We are going to talk about that. Last month was October, and we all know that October is the breast cancer awareness month. I call it the breast month because October is everything breast, 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 breast. Yes. And I know there are a ton of campaigns that went on last month. There are a whole lot of things that you may have heard or learned about the breast cancer, and even some information about women reproductive health. So I'm not going to talk about breast cancer today. What I'm going to talk about is one of the key things that we discuss whenever we mention breast cancer, and that is breast self-examination. Now, I know you already know how to do your breast self-examination, but the problem here is that there are a few things that we don't pay attention to, and that is why we are not getting accurate results with our breast self-examination. And these are the few things that I'm going to mention or talk about. There are about four of them. The first one is knowing the actual correct procedure for a breast self-examination. Breast self-examination basically involves three things: getting into a comfortable position, inspecting your breast, and then palpating it. After which you can decide to record or journal it or not. But I will advise or suggest that you always record whatever you find at the end of your breast self-examination. So, position. What do we mean about position? To inspect your breast properly, there are two positions that you can use. You can either sit down as I'm seated now and then inspect your breast, or you can stand in front of a mirror and then inspect your breast. If you choose to sit as I'm seated now, all you have to do is raise your hands first, look at your breast, put your hands on your waist or on your hips, as some people will say it. Inspect your breast once again. And then last but not the least, put your hands by your side and then inspect your breast again. If you choose to stand in front of a mirror, you repeat the same procedure. You raise your hand, inspect your breast, put your hands on your waist or hold your waist, inspect your breast, and then lastly, you put your hands by your side and then inspect your breast. You all know what you look out for during the inspection: all the abnormalities, the dimpling, the swelling, the changes in skin coloration, discharges, and a whole lot. Any abnormalities that is not something that is always there with you. So any abnormalities that you have been told to find during the awareness program that you attended, you go for it. So position and inspection is done. Position and inspection always go together. Then we come to palpation. Palpation is where we have the major of these problems or the most problems. First, we palpate using our three middle fingers, the pad of our three middle fingers. We don't use four, we don't use five, we only use three. Secondly, we use three different kind of pressures when palpating our breast. You can either use the first one is a light pressure, you go moderate, and then you go deep or firm pressure. Now you can either go circular motions or you can go in stripes or longitudinal motions. You can start in, that is around your nipples, out, or you can start out and then end around your nipples. After that, you squeeze your nipple. If there is any discharge, abnormal discharge, foul-smelling discharge, milky discharge, which you are not breastfeeding, so you are not supposed to be having, you document that and then you report everything to your primary healthcare provider. I always suggest that whatever the outcome of your breast examination is, please report it or journal it. It's better to be safe than to be sorry. That is done. Number two, on the things that we're talking about. Now, at the end of this video, I'm going to leave a slide, just one slide, listing all these steps. So please don't go away. Make sure that you watch the video to the end so that you get to the slide that contains all these steps. In case you missed what I'm saying or you missed some of the things that I'm saying, I talk fast. So in case you missed some of them, you can just go back to the slide that I'll leave at the end of this video and then get everything. So we've talked about the correct processes in a breast self-examination. Now we need to talk about the timing. The second thing you need to do to get accurate results from your breast self-examination is to schedule the same time for all your breast self-examinations. Now, what do I mean about this? Let's say last month in October, you did your breast self-examination on the 10th, around 10th, yes, around 10 a.m. in the morning. This month, November, you are going to do it at the same time. You have to repeat the same time. So it will be 10 a.m. in the morning on the 10th of November. In December, it will be the same time. You schedule the same time for all your breast examinations. Why is this important? This is important because of consistency. If you build this consistency, it will give you a clearer or a perfect knowledge of how your breast feels at any particular or given point in your life. If you keep on changing the days or alternating the days that you perform your breast self-examination, you may end up feeling certain changes in your breast, which you may think is breast cancer, but it's not breast cancer. It is not related to breast cancer. Why? Because breast cancer is not the only thing that causes changes in our breast. Our menstrual cycle always causes changes in our breast. I'll cover that in another video, not this one. I'll talk about that in another video, the changes in our breast and the menstrual cycle. So please, maintain the same timing for all your breast self-examination so that you can comfortably know that this is how my breast feels at each particular month or in each particular month. This is how my breast feels at this particular time. I know that on the 10th of every month, this is how my breast feels. So if I'm feeling any abnormality at this time that I know on the 10th of every month, this is how my breast feels. If I perform another examination and then feel any abnormality, then I can confirm or boldly say that something is wrong with my breast. Consistency brings accuracy and helps prevent unnecessary anxiety and worry. That is number 2. Number 3, do not rush through a breast self-examination. This is a systematic process. You need to take ample time to feel yourself, your breast, your body. I always tell my clients or people that I meet that knowing your body is the best thing that you can do for yourself in terms of health. Know your body, take time to study your body and know what works best for you. So don't rush through a BSc. No, don't rush through a BSc or a breast self-examination. Take your time, at least 15 to 20 minutes. It's enough for you to carefully assess your breast in all formats and directions as it has been listed. Then the fourth one, which is very, very important, is make sure you wait for a few days after your menstrual cycle before you perform a breast self-examination. Never do a BSc or breast self-examination immediately after your menstrual cycle. No, don't do that. Make sure you wait for a few days, at least 3 to 5 days, depending on the type of menstrual cycle you have. If you have a shorter cycle, the 21-day cycle, the 28 days, the 30 days, and then the 32 days. So depending on your cycle, between 3 to 5 days, you wait. If you're having a long cycle, it's better you wait for about 5 days. If you have a shorter cycle, it's better you wait for about 3 to 4 days, and then you go on and do your breast self-examination. Why are we suggesting that you wait for a few days? In fact, even some experts suggest waiting for 7 days or 1 week. But we will leave that for the experts. Let's talk about the ones that we are familiar with. The 3 to 5 days. I know you might have heard it before from your midwife or your antenatal caregiver or whoever your reproductive health caregiver is. Why do we suggest that you do this? The reason is because during your menstrual cycle, there are certain changes that goes on in your breast. It will take a little amount of time, about 3 to 5 days, for the breast to return to its normal state before you can perform the SBE. So if you do your, BSC. So if you do your breast self-examination or BSC immediately after your menstrual cycle, you are bound to feel certain changes in your breast, especially some form of swelling and tenderness. Tenderness means pain. You are bound to feel some of these things and you may think something is wrong with your breast. But unfortunately, nothing is wrong with your breast. It's just a normal, natural hormonal cycle causing changes in your breast. So we are suggesting that after each menstrual cycle, you wait for a few days. Between 3 to 5 days, you wait for this period of time before you go on and do your BSC. Now, these are the 4 things that I mentioned. Doing the correct procedures in the BSC itself, scheduling the same timing, not rushing through it, and then taking your time waiting for a while after a BSC. Sorry, after your menstrual cycle before doing a BSD. And then last but not the least, this is not on the slide, it's a bonus advice. Please make sure you record and whenever possible, report the findings of your breast examinations. Even if you can't report them, at least record them. It will serve as a baseline reference for both you and your primary health care provider or clinician. In case something should happen in the future, you can boldly say that this is how my breast feels, this is how it has been for this period of time, so that you know where to start looking from instead of going through all the long processes and investigations, which may sometimes not yield any good results because there are no baseline reference points. So please do try and then record, and when necessary or whenever possible, report the outcomes of your breast self-examinations. Okay, guys, that is all there is for today. Once again, thank you so much for joining us. If you found this video helpful, do well to subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, and then most importantly, share it with friends and loved ones so that others out there can also benefit. Okay, see you in the next video. Bye.